Hello there, YouTube. Charlie Brawley back at you with another video. I'm very excited because this little thing that you see right here is producing 100% for our team during our team play. We are constantly making a lot of upgrades and updates, and it's just really exciting to see the progress that's being made amongst the team. And we are, for next month, I'm looking for 5 more people to finish off September. So if you want to be a part of that group, get at me before September. We will lock it down to that group, and that group will rock out. We are doing some pretty cool things, and I'm going to demonstrate this to you because I re-imaged my laptop and I lost a lot of files. Some of the files that I lost were the videos for the training instructions to a lot of the PermutationsPro titles, unfortunately. And I was trying to make my computer faster. I re-imaged it, and in the process, I ended up losing files. And another thing I ended up losing was the files to all those who had submitted to me that they wanted the video, the training video for the team play to see how it worked. Since we did that original video, we've made like 3 upgrades since then. So the good news is that you didn't get a chance to see the old stuff. The bad news is that I'm a little late, but like I said, I did lose some files. So if you bought the Permutations Pro Bundle from me, I would be so honored and elated if anyone who has bought that could send me those files back. I don't want to have to recreate them. It's not that I can't. I just, right now, I'm really busy with this. But I did lose some files. So if there's a nice person out there who did buy it, if you've been enjoying it, if you can send me those files, I would greatly appreciate it. And no, I'm not going to buy them back from you. Okay, I can make them. It's just that I end up losing some files. So if there's a nice person out there who has got some of those, could you please send me those files back? Because there are other people who actually purchased them recently, well, a while ago, who lost them the same way I did, and they want a copy. And unfortunately, I'm really pretty good at saving files and stuff like that. It's just that for whatever reason, I re-imaged my computer and I end up losing those files. So if you can do that for me, that would be great. Send it to permutationspro@gmail.com. Don't send it immediately. Just send me an email if you're going to do that, letting me know that you will do it. And I will greatly appreciate that. All right. Well, for all those who, like I said, who did send me, I had a few people send me emails, and I logged everybody's emails into a file, and that file also is missing as well. So I don't have the listing, so I'm gonna do this video and hopefully you see it and you get a chance to see it, because I don't have the listing, and I'm not gonna just email random people like that. So not gonna do that. So I'm gonna do this video just to show you what's going on. All right, so basically right now the team play, for those who know, I think this is going on maybe the 2nd month, and from the time we started all the way up to now, we have been averaging well over the 50% mark. And even as of today, as of today with the most recent upgrade, the entire team, all 100, everybody who played today, we all hit 100% of goals. Everyone did. And these people are playing all different parts of the world, and everybody hit 100% of the goals. So let me just kind of show you what we do. And if you are interested, September is going to be locked. We're going to be making a real big push for September. Not only because it's my birthday month. Yes, I'm a Virgo. But because we just need to make some money, man. And this world is crazy. And right now, things are just really working well on our side. So we're going to keep the momentum. So in this video, what I'm going to show you is how this little block of code, if you will, actually allows us to win. So this right here is basically, it's what I'm calling a micro game. And the reason why we do micro games is because we're able to get units very quick and play multiple games. Inside of the team play, it's a 2-hour window of which you can play multiple games inside. A game is considered 10 spins. We used to do a lot of different things. But one of the things that I noticed was that we had a hard time at taking the money. And oftentimes when people would lose, it wouldn't be because the system lost, it'd be because they just didn't take the money. So what I've decided to do was create a system where not only is it mostly automated, but for the most part, we're always winning. And I'm going to kind of demonstrate that to you right now. All right. So let's say if you were playing this, I know I've probably talked about the money management before of how we grow money. If I did a video talking about how Warren Buffett does it, and I use the same approach here. It's all about the value of the unit. It's the consistency of the win and the value of it. It's not about trying to amass, hundreds of units a day. When we say units, that means like if it's a unit could be $5, whatever the value you place on the chip, right? So it's not about trying to get a whole bunch. It's about it's about being consistent and constantly increasing the value of it. What I did notice about the game, number one, is that I created an algorithm that allows the game to always flow upward, meaning we always end up getting wins. In the process of it, the original algorithm, we were basing it on the unit, meaning how many units we won, versus basing it on the flow of the game, whether it's a negative or a positive flow. The algorithm goes up and it goes down. The down is negative, the up is positive. Both sides of that algorithm we're able to make money on, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works. But this is a new system. It's a lot more cleaner. It's a lot more concise. We do cover the zero because each game is only 10 spins. So we do cover the zero. And this pretty much will tell you exactly what to play. What I'm going to do first, the first thing we do when you have the software, you're going to key in these. I'm just putting in some random spins. And the reason you do this is because the algorithms, as you can start to tell, if you look down here, let me just go back, and you can start to see this change. You can see this changing forms the closer we get to the first bet, right? And the reason it changes forms, and I keep putting the same numbers in here, is because it's part of the, as you can see, it's starting to make its changes. The more inputs it gets, particularly when it comes to the last one, it really starts to correct itself and give us the best options for us to play and win. All right, so, and it's all based on permutations. It's an algorithm that's based on permutations, but we've narrowed it down to the flow of the game, and that's what this is. All right, so the first thing we do is we key in these first 15 spins because that's what we need to start formulating a pattern, and the algorithm can start recognizing that. All right, the next thing we do is we put in the first spin according to here. Now, we don't play it yet. We're just going to key it in. So let's say it's 17. All right. Now that we've done that, the first thing that we're going to do is look for either side. Now, don't disregard the fact that this says negative and positive, okay? These are just two sides of a coin that is going to tell you which direction you need to play next. Now, we always start with the positive side, meaning if this starts at a +1, this is going to be the side we play on. If this starts with a +1, this is going to be the side we play on. What we're looking to do is just win 1 unit out of it, okay? Now, the way this, we're going to see here, we're going to be able to win quite a few of these 1 units within 10 spins. It's because of the way this is kind of set up. So I'm going to kind of go there with you and show you what I mean. All right, so first of all, we're going to look here and see this is positive. This is a 1, +1. So we're going to be playing over here. If this was a +1, we'd be playing over here. This right here says negative. So what we're going to do is play a negative bet, right? This negative bet is it's going to be a black. So we'll put our money on black, and this will be a negative bet on black. So let's go there. All right, so when we did that, you can see that it went down to 0, so we end up losing that one. So we're going to continue to play here the negative side, and it says to play the red. So we're going to play the red, and it wins. All right, so we end up winning the red. It still says to play the negative. Now, sometimes this will change. You're going to see this in a moment. We're going to go through a few of these, but sometimes it's going to change. And when it changes, you just pretty much just change with it. All right. So it might say, for example, positive. If it says positive, you'll be playing from the positive line. If it says negative, you'll be playing from the negative line until you win 2 units. All right. All right. So in this case, we're going to play okay, here 26 comes out. As you can see, we end up winning. And at this point, officially, this game is a wrap. We are now officially 1 unit ahead of the game. All right. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to restart the game, because once you've won your 1 unit, you restart the game. You got 2 hours to play as many games as you want, up to the amount of units that we have allotted for. So there's a certain amount of units you can win. And the only reason that is because the goal is not to sit here and play all day. That's not how you do it. It's about limiting your time, but increasing your quality. That's what it's about. All right, so we've just removed this game. What I'm going to do here, first of all, let's just I'll put a 1 unit there, right? So I'm going to come here, right here on this spreadsheet. I have 500,000 real spins. You could actually download this from my website, and it will pretty much, you can download it if you're ever doing any kind of practicing. You can download this sheet from the PermutationsPro.com and get a chance to see, if you can practice with it. I use it all the time to practice, because it's over 500,000. So it's a lot of great spins in here for you to do some practicing with. All right. So in this case, we put these inputs in as if this was the game. And as you can see here, this was the positive. We ended up hitting our 2nd unit right here. All right. And as you know, we're not going to win everything. So we're going to talk about what happens when you lose. The thing of it is that for the most part, everything we win happens within 10 spins. Sometimes it happens right here at the top. We have a win right here. So we're currently right now at the 3 unit mark. I'm going to continue to go, peel off some more spins, and see what the game gives us. You can see here, this was the positive 1, and we started betting. As you can see here, it said bet positive right here, which would have been black 1. We got our 1 unit right there. We are in the game. This is pretty much how it's done, folks. I'm gonna do a few spins of these, just random spins, and hopefully we can see something, because a lot of times you really don't learn when it's oftentimes we just kind of go through it. But I want to show you games where it didn't always win, because not every game you win. It's just that the most times we're winning, and that's all that matters. So when you're walking away a winner, that's what matters. Now, so in this case, this was the positive 1. Now, when we're betting, let's say this is 10 spins, so you're going to have to use some judgment, because what you don't want to do is allow this game to drag you down to maybe a -2, -3, or -4. So that means if you don't win early, you're going to have to make a decision to quit the game, and quitting the game with the least amount of losing units as possible is most opportune. All right, so in this case, the way I would do this, let's say right now I'm already up 4 units. If I'm playing this game, you can see right now it hasn't really went to like -2, so I'm gonna stick with the game at this point, because right now I'm up 4 units. If it goes to -2, I end up losing a couple units here. But what I'll do here, if I'm playing this game right now, it's a -1, 0, -1. I'm probably still playing here at this point. Maybe I end up at this -1. When it comes right to this 0, you can look here and see that right now we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 6 spins into a 10 spin game, which means we only have 4 spins left. In order for us to make a unit from this point, we have to win the next at least 2 out of the next 4. All right. So we really kind of have a 50-50 shot, even being here at 0. So if we decided to actually take this bet It's not a bad bet to take. We take it and we ended up back here at -1, right? Well, at this point, what I probably end up doing, and even though it goes to 0 again, I probably end up bowing out because I don't know if it's going to go further down, and I'm not willing to risk more units to even find out, considering the fact that we can play as many games as we want until we get our units, and even more than that. The sessions, when you join, the reason I'm getting all these laptops is to make available room for people to play. This almost looks like the same thing that just happened. Let me see, is that it almost looks like the exact same sequence. Let's see here, because sometimes I can make a mistake and gosh, was that the same thing? 24? No, it's not the same thing. It just started at 24. All right. So anyway, but yeah, so guys, so basically, so right here, this is a positive, right? So it's almost like the exact same game we just had. In this case, this was a 0 -1. We're up. I think I did this right. Gave a -1. All right. So right here, I probably at this 0, I just lost this 1 unit the last game. I can see right now it hasn't really given me much, and at this, I probably go through to maybe about right here. I'll probably take this chance because this looks so similar to the last game. So I'm gonna roll dice and say it's not gonna repeat the exact same last 10 spins. So I probably get here and it goes to 0. But once I get to this 0, I probably just call it at 0. Because the thing is that I would have to win at least the next 2 to be up 1 unit. I'm not going to risk it. It's okay because I can always play more games. All right, so let's peel off another set of spins. Just some conventional look at this, guys. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight. This 1, 7 straight. This algorithm is amazing, guys. So this 1, 7 straight, and the reason why this works is because when the game flows, what you're going to notice is that you're going to see a lot of repeat negatives and a lot of repeat positives. It flows like very succinctly like that. There's times it doesn't, but there's a lot of times that it does, and that's one of the reasons why you see this. But we're not here to take all the units. We're only here to get that 1 unit. So we're going to get that 1 unit. All right, so we're going to repeat it here again. Do a few more. Just to give you guys a bird's eye view, this is what's allowing us to win at 100%. And we've actually had 2 days. Now, with that 100%, guys, check this out. Not everybody took their money. Okay? Just because we're winning at 100% don't mean everyone's taking money. And that's the reason why I created this, because you either take your unit or you lose. So if you're playing a game that's more than 10 and you go up 3 or 4 units, and then you don't stop. When you're playing a game where you can only get 1 unit, then there is no choice. Okay, so this puts us in a position to always take the money. Okay, we never walk off losers. Okay, we're always end up taking the money. All right, so right here, I think I'm doing this right. We ended up getting that unit. Did I do that right? May have to subtract that. I think I didn't put that unit down, but either way, let's just continue to go. My short-term memory, you guys gotta pray for me. All right. So as you can see here, the second the unit comes in right here, right at about the 6th spin. So you can see here we're kinda on fire, and that's generally how it works. Not all the time do we win. We had one guy who finished up at 100%, which was 1 unit. He played 8 games. So there'll be times where it takes you just have to use proper judgment. And wow, look at this. We're just continuing to win. 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, 0, 1, 2. You could see that, as I mentioned to you guys, this game is really, you know what? Let me show you guys this. I think I still have it up. I did this. This was one of the tests I did. And this is pretty, it's kind of indicative of what you're seeing here. You see the kind of consistency I just showed you guys. All right. This is, oh, not the wrong one. Sorry. This is a test that I did, and it was based upon how many games did we win based on this algorithm that we won under 10. Now, the end says no, the wise says yes. Out of these 150 spins, we ended up with 30 of them going over 10. This is 150 spins. All right. Again, we had 100% win rate today. Every one of the people who played all won today with this new algorithm. And this is what this is producing. So it's producing a really, really high win rate. All right, I'm gonna go through a couple more and I'll be finished. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys this. There's really not a whole lot of training involved either. The software, I call it software, or the spreadsheet, is pretty much built how it is to do what it does. And the only thing you have to do is just kind of follow it. And this is how it is. Now, with that said, this doesn't mean that every day it's going to look like this. It just means that you're going to be able to get units. A lot of times it does look just like this. But there can be days where you have a couple games where you go -2 or -3. It's going to come. Let me see if I can find one here. Because it does exist. And I mean, we had that game that we end up getting no units. But there are some games where you have to bail out. We ended up getting the second unit right at the 10th, but we probably would have bailed out maybe here, even though we would have gotten these. I probably would have bailed out over here somewhere. I'll give myself a -1. But I want to show you a game because it's not all the time where you're always winning. It's just that we win enough to always win. That's the key. But right now, everything I'm touching is on fire. These are random spins, by the way. I don't know what this is, and you can download this if you ever want to practice. If you ever want to practice this, you can download it. But look at what's happening. Random spins. Let me just spin it again. Let's see here. Let's get some random spins. I want to show you a potential game. Wow, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row. All right, so look at this, guys. Okay, so this literally won 9 in a row. But look at this, is all a positive. However, if you look over here, that's not all red and black. Okay, so what this algorithm does, it takes what we call chaotic color patterns, and it figures out the trend of it based upon the current algorithm. That's the reason why we see a lot of these a lot of times, and sometimes you'll see this. We just haven't gotten into it yet because we can choose between the two. That's one of the reasons why we end up winning so much. We start off with the positive. This first positive, this is all based on a trend that's happening in here. This black, there's some more code and stuff here that's creating this. And it's all based on the algorithm, blah, blah, blah. So, but anyway, so you can just kind of see here. Look at this. It's just really cool. But unfortunately, we're not playing for a whole bunch of units like that. Our goal is just to get one, and that's it. All right, so let's move it forward. And for all those who have been patient in the process of development, the whole point of development is to make us better and great. That's all it is. And as you can see, hard work pays off. So if you were diligent enough to stick through the development, and a lot of developments happen. The reason I was doing so many developments is because the appetite of the market when it comes to this, a lot of people still view it as gambling, unfortunately, which is why people could walk away when they're down, but don't walk away when they're up. It's a mindset. So with that mindset, it doesn't mean we can't make money together. It just means that for me, I had to make it even easier for you. So that's the reason why I was doing so many updates, is because I just kind of saw like the trend of maybe even the appetite of people. I had one person who quit when he was at 17%. And I guess he didn't understand the value of that. And so, and the reason why is because this wasn't happening immediately. See, that's he didn't want to wait for that. Okay, this wasn't happening immediately. Because it wasn't happening immediately, he didn't have the patience. But even when he left, he still was up 17%. So don't be that guy. All right, so I think I've done enough here. I'm trying to show you a game where it kind of loses. Everything's just winning right now. And I swear to God, you're not going to win everything. But let me see if I can find something for you. Okay, you guys are seeing this. I told you I did a study. Okay, this was the study. This is what you're seeing right now. These are random spins. I don't know where this is. I don't know what's next. I don't know these numbers by heart. It's an algorithm. You know what I'm gonna do? I think some of you might have seen the back end of this. Okay, here we go. This is the game I was wanting to show you. All right, so there are games where when you play, it will do this. It will go down. So when you see something like 1-0, 1-0, right now you're still kind of in the game. Now right here it gets to -2. This is where you're going to have to start thinking a little bit. First thought is that number one, where are you in your unit size for the day? Okay, if you're up in your unit sizes for the day, you're at -2. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 spins left. You're gonna have to win 1, 2, 3. You're gonna have to win 4 spins to make it even. To get a unit. The question is, do you think you're gonna win the next 4? You're gonna go 100% for the next 4 spins. Chances are you're not. Okay. That doesn't mean you can't get a couple units. It's just there's a good chance you're not. So you got to, number one, go ahead and alleviate your head of thinking that you're going at this point. It's not that you can't, but just alleviate your head from thinking, I'm at -2 at 6. I need 4 to get a single unit. Okay. So my next thought is, all right, where am I at my unit count? Apparently I'm quite ahead. So I could take a little bit more risk. However, what I would probably do in this case, I probably would take one more bet. Honestly, I probably would take one more bet. At this -3, I'm calling it. I'm going to walk off. Even if it does go down to 0 or whatever, I'm done at this point because it's clear the game is not giving me what I want. So I just wanted to show you that those kind of games do occur. You just have to be cognizant that they do and make wise choices based upon your current money, and know that this game behaves in strings. We have strings of wins based upon how we're doing it. This is like really, really new. So again, for all those who had hit me up, I have been really busy developing this, working with my current group, making sure we're taking the money. Okay. And now I've just gotten some free time to be able to do this. So here's where I'm at. September, I'm only looking for 5 more folk, and that will round out the group that I want for September. I'm looking to have a huge September month. All right. So I want 5. If I don't get 5, that's good. But if you want to be a part of that, I'm shutting off September. September it's only going to be about the group. This new algorithm, you guys see it here clearly. All right. Everyone who played today, all of my members, the last couple of days who've been playing, everyone could vouch for the exact same thing that they're seeing here. Well, everybody has won. I think Amal is the only one who had an 8 game. He had 8 games. He only finished up at 1 unit. Doesn't matter. You finished up a winner. He probably was ahead before that, but didn't stop. But he ended up finishing at 1 unit, which is 100%. That 1 unit is worth whatever he placed the value on it. It might be 100, 200, 300, whatever it is. Okay. The same thing with here. As you grow along, the money management side of this, by the way, is really kind of easy. You can see here, for the most part, this thing kind of behaves in strings. Even in the testing that I did, it's a lot of strings, like 4 in a row, 2, then this long thing in a row. And then so it's a lot of strings of wins. With that said, one of the things that we can do is always increase the minimum slightly. Every time we win, we increase the minimum. When you lose, you stay at that same minimum until you win, and then you increase it as you grow along. I always say go along, but I mean grow along. All right, guys. So I didn't want to be here too long. Send me an email if you want to be a part of the last grouping for September. We're going to go hard. You have my total best interest at heart, because the way that I get paid is when you are successful. Okay, so when you're successful, I am getting paid. So it behooves me to make sure you're successful. Okay, so with that said, guys, send me an email, permutationspro@gmail.com. For those who have the bundle package, as I mentioned earlier in the call, I lost a lot of files. I even lost the file that had my emails in them. So I didn't, if you were on my mailing list or anything like that, unfortunately, I've lost that file. If you send me an email asking to be, to review the most updated training for the new stuff, the cool news is that this is brand new. So you're seeing it brand new. But I did lose files, so I can't send you email, and I hope that you are seeing this. All right. But for those who are just seeing this for the first time, welcome to the channel. I have a lot of other videos on here that are based on permutation strategies, single play strategies. This is, I call it a team play because we kind of work as a team in building it and growing it, even though you're doing it on your own. I have a couple, a wife and husband who's working together who does this. I have people from all parts of the world who's doing this. So not a whole lot, but everybody's spread out, and that's the cool thing. And so if you want to be a part, permutationspro@gmail.com. And if you want to call me, I think it's 855-PERM-PRO, PERMO, PERM-PRO, PERMPRO. On your phone, you can dial 855-PERM-PRO. It's toll free. You can reach me there. I like to get you locked in before September. I have a specific goal that I've got in mind for September. And if I had 5 more folk to join me, that will be great. You're going to make money. Okay, just so listen to what I'm saying. Let me get closer to the mic. You're going to make money. Okay, I'm going to ensure that you're going to make the money, because I'm going to be right there to make sure you walk off when you do. Okay, because I literally will be in front of the computer when and those who have been lately, you guys have seen me. I'll make my comment, and if I think you're done, I cut that computer off. All right. So anyway, guys, enough of all that. Thank you guys again so much for supporting me and the channel. I know there are some trolls who appear every now and then. But then there's such an overwhelming a lot of people who do understand that if you view this as gambling, you will get a gambler's result. Okay, you have to do the calculation. You have to do the math. The only way you can do anything like this, you have to understand permutations. You have to understand the variable system. Okay, and you have to have a little bit of know-how to create this. What was crazy is funny is that I was trying to get this into a software. I was going to pay somebody to do it, and I ended up doing it on my own without it. But it was really, I will say thanks to everybody who's currently on the team, because so many of us wanted it easier. And even though I'm not really a fan of easy, I do like the challenge of making it more convenient and easier, though. And because of that is the reason why we're here. So thank you guys for being you. Okay, because it helps us all. Permutationspro@gmail.com. Send me an email. If you want to be a part of the next grouping for September, hit me up. Let me know. Until the next time, guys, listen, be careful out here. It's a lot of lies in the world. It's a lot of mess going on in the world. I think we can overcome it with love for ourselves and love for our neighbors. Love your neighbor as yourself. If you can learn to do that, the world will be a much better place. Mind your own business on top of that. But love your neighbor, man. You know, life is not as bad as it seems, you know. And I think if we just learn to cut the TV off a little bit, turn off the news media, spend more time with our family and our friends, live as much of a healthy, productive lifestyle as you can, and protect your neighbor, man. Love your neighbor. Seriously, man. I'm really so sick of the way things are, and I'm ready for change. And so whatever I can do to help make this place better for me, I feel like I've been giving this gift because I didn't ask for it. It's not something that this was a dream of mine. It's not something that I set sail on, something that I felt like, you know what, this is what I want to do. I want to make that was never the case here. But I cannot tell you how many emails that I get from people who have had success here. And the fact that I'm literally working inside of this and seeing the success makes me realize that this is bigger than me. And I'm very, very grateful. No, not everybody makes it. And I'm going to tell you, not everybody's the same. Not everybody thinks the same. There are people with legitimate gambling problems. They don't want to admit it, but it's very true. Okay. This is a gambling device. So I would only expect that gamblers will come here. Unfortunately, one of the biggest undertakings is reconditioning the mind of the gambler. So now what I'm doing now is saying, okay, you can be yourself. It's just that when you win with this system, you're done. When you get your units, you're done. Okay. And so I'm going to take more control so that we can all take home the money instead of winning the money and not taking it. All right, guys. All right. So much for all of that. Thank you again so much for listening. PermutationsPro@gmail.com. Until the next time, take care.